Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I am going to do the Explosive Minions Mayhem. And in this Explosive Minions Mayhem, what happens is minions explode on death, obviously. They deal 50 damage to both allies and enemies when they die. So, the deck that I'm going to be using is Setsu with Infiltration as my primary damage against the enemy. That way, the Infiltrators, if you drop them right beside the enemy leader, they will do a guaranteed 200 damage to the leader, as well as whatever damage they do with their shots. So the main goal is to drop Setsu with the Infiltrators against the enemy. Other than that, I'm primarily running exploding minions, as mentioned, right? There's Scrats, 5 of them, which will explode for 250 damage. There's the Scrat Horde, with 10 of them, which will explode for 500 damage, right? I also have a wall to help protect my master. And then 3 taunting enemies that can explode and do damage, right? So the Screaming Scrat, 2 of these Walking Blind Dates, which will explode when the Walking Blind Date is destroyed, and then the minion that's summoned afterwards will also do exploding damage if they die. An Assassin, which is primarily used to counter enemy high hit point targets. Stun Lancer for the same thing. And yeah, that pretty much sums up this deck. So far, I've played 5 matches, won all 5. And so I need to get 7 more wins. So, let's begin. And now we wait for me to get queued up against someone. And as usual, the more wins you get, the longer the wait times. Oh, although this one actually matched the time that was suggested. They said 20 seconds, it took me 21, which is good.
Welcome to Minion Masters!
Interesting.
Duel!
Let's kick some monster ass.
So, as always, you want to be the one to play second in general to counter what the enemy does. So this way I've taken control of the bridges, which is nice. I'll let him move in with that one, since I know Setsu can easily take it down. At this time, I think it's a good time to drop. Oh crap, this was a bad drop. Nonetheless, it's acceptable. Few mistakes so far, but overall, it's not bad. You know what? Let's just finish it here. He was down to 200 hit points, so it was an easy clear. Even if he had exploded my 4 infiltrators, that was a victory. So while he had a speed deck of cards, he could not really finish me off. Uh-oh. It looks like my game just crashed. So let's just... I'm going to have to restart my game. But that is another win, which works out quite well. So 6 wins now in the Mayhem. And what I find is this deck does counter every other deck that is used in the Exploding Minion Mayhem because of the taunting characters that you bring.
Make this entertaining, guys. Let's duel!
Setsu, ready for action.
As always, waiting for the enemy to play something first. Although if they don't, I will start with a Walking Blind Date.
Bigger splatter.
Interesting.
More tech.
I'm actually not sure how to counter this thing. That may be the one thing I truly have problems countering, but should be fine. So let's place down these guys. Ouch. I had to basically kill myself there, but I think it was worth it. Because now he's down to 515 hit points. Once again, let's start with the Walking Blind Dates. And done. So, the Setsu plus Infiltration combo is an absolute killer as long as you time it properly. Excellent. Moving on. And the wait times are just growing longer and longer. It was 20 seconds for the previous one, now it's up to 40 seconds. There we go.
We've I've got a corker of a fight for you today, here on Minion Masters. Let the fun begin!
My baby here's got some killing to do.
Now that's interesting. That he's willing to play the infiltrators that aggressively.
More tech.
Now this one's a little bit awkward because I'm not quite sure on how to time to kill it. There we go. Okay, perfect. He's just wasted. Yep. Once again, waiting till the opponent wastes a lot of mana, and once they do, I drop my Setsu with infiltrators and crush them. To be fair, I'm sure my deck do have some counters. For example, if an enemy brings Fireball to counter the fact that I bring Stun Lancers, that could really destroy me, right? Whenever I run into something like the Colossus. But in that case, it turns into kind of a race. Who can win first, right? If they Colossus and Fireball, I Setsu and Infiltrators, and I believe I can beat my enemy before they beat me. Plus, killing off Colossus generally isn't that hard when, for example, playing a Scrat Horde deals 500 damage. So even though the Colossus has 1200 hit points, you can just drop Scrat Horde, drop Scrat Pack, and that will just really rip it apart right there. So there are ways to manage to deal with those high hit point enemies.
Duel!
My baby here's got some killing to do.
The wall, by the way, is primarily to counter Zeppelin bomber decks. Haven't run into one in this playthrough, but I usually do. Uh-oh. Oh, this is not good. overall, he's actually done a pretty good job. What? Deck advantage made all the difference. There were a few times where I have had trouble, in large part because I actually surprisingly don't have a very good way to counter the Harbinger.
None of them have the will to do.
But it's such a high cost card that it doesn't pay off for him.
Silence.
Yeah, there's actually not really a very good... There's no real good method for me to counter the Harbinger, I just realized. Unless I drop the Infiltrators, but then I'm giving up my Setsu plus Infiltrator combo that way. So, that was interesting. But at this point, just 3 more wins. I'm already nearly there.
Masters, get ready. The fight is on.
Suit up!
Well, let's start with...
Hi there.
There we go. So, turned into a trade kind of match, but worked out. Once again, all of these decks that people commonly use with the rammers and so on just don't do very well against this one. Because I can usually counter it with cheaper cards. Right? The wall combo with a taunt plus Grats can easily take down the rammer. And I'd be paying, let's say, 3 points or 4 points equal cost to take down the rammer and avoid taking damage in general. Or similarly, if I drop the stun lancers, then the rammers are countered as well. And now it's just 2 more wins, but the wait time has gone crazy. So less than 2 minutes is what they're saying. Actually, I should check how much hit points the bazooka scrat has while I'm at it. Because that's actually one thing I'm not quite sure on. 65 hit points. Okay. So, in other words, a single explosion, like Walking Blind Date, would not do enough to kill off a bazooka scrat. So you will need the scrat pack. Or if not the scrat pack, then you can always use the swarmers. Right, swarmers, there's three of them, so they would do 150 damage. But I think generally speaking, you want scrap pack, because that's 5 for 250 damage. Well, we've hit the 2-minute mark at this point. Still no battle yet. There we go.
And we're off.
Let's kick some monster
As always,
ass.
wait for more. Looks good so far. So let's actually drop at this point. We used up a lot of mana there just now. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Another easy victory. And just one win to go.
Victory at all cost.
So yeah. Actually, if I combo these two, that is actually... No, that's not enough damage. I was hoping that might be enough damage, but there's 5 here, and then there's the 6th character from the scrap pack. That's only 300 damage. That would leave a rammer with some hit points to spare, because rammers have 350 hit points. So you actually need 7 characters to kill one off. But, you know, Stun Lancer works fine, or the combo of Scrat Horde with Screaming Scrat works fine as well. So it's not like it's an equal cost counter, so it works. But once again, there is this 2-minute wait time. Oh, it was actually shorter. So here we go. The final match. If I win.
It's on!
My baby here's got some killing to do.
Let's see. I think this is the correct timing. We'll see. Yep. Whoa. Let's just... Since these guys managed to get there, why not?
More attack.
And now I just save up. So, timing again. Let's actually just rip him up now. There we go.
Winner, ladies and gentlemen!
So there we go. Very easily, 12 wins without a single loss. This seems to be just about the optimal deck for this Mayhem. It works incredibly well, and it makes this Mayhem anyways very easy to beat. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone. I hope you found this video useful in your attempts to clear this Mayhem. And on that note, Nitro out.